Okay, we should be live now. What's up, folks? Hopefully your weekend was just phenomenal. All you dads out there had a great Father's Day, and all you sports fans out there enjoyed what the NBA had to offer to us the last couple of days because it's been a lot of fun. I've had plenty of good baseball in the meantime as well, and with no NBA games tonight, 100% of today's attention is going to be paid onto Major League Baseball and what is not a very big slate for a Monday, but still plenty of good options that we can discuss, go over. In the meantime, if you guys could do me a big favor and just click right on the thumbs up for this video, it would be much appreciated. We're going to get started. We're going to run through our typical type of thing, right? One pitcher, a couple of GPP guys, and then a couple of cash game guys. Before we get into it, today's show is brought to you by our good friends over at Drafters. We talk about them all the time because they deserve to be talked about all the time. If you haven't been doing drafts on Drafters, I highly encourage you to give it a whirl. Should have some time this afternoon to get one in with the players. And if you'd like to be part of that, click on that Facebook group below, click join, and I will get you added to here. This is where we post new drafts and stuff like that, and you can come draft with us. We got a blast every day. We have the opportunity to do this, and if you want to sign up for us, the promo code is DFS 5-pack. Weekly, monthly memberships all available through the website. But something I wanted to do today, which we have not done in a very, very long time now, is run a today special on lifetime and annual memberships. So lifetime memberships are $600. For today, you can purchase a lifetime membership for only $400. That's all three sports, permanently moving forward, no future payments. Otherwise, an annual pass, we get you a full calendar year. This would be June 21st today to June 21st next year. Is typically $400. It's down to $300 for the day. If you buy it through the website, guys, you'll get your reimbursement sent out to you right away. I will 100% send it out within 12 hours, probably a lot earlier than that even. Otherwise, if you want to pay manually with the $400 or $300, you can just use the PayPal address below. Subscribe to the station if you are new to it, and let's talk about pitching. So there's a few pitchers in play today, but of all the chalkier starting pitchers for decent money, give me Frankie Montes of the Oakland Athletics. Quite frankly, he just has the best matchup by a good amount. I think at this point of the season, we all know the Texas Rangers lineup is not one that we are going to be scared to pick on. They're just not very good. I mean, plain and simple, they just don't have a lot of good hitters in it. Montes, who has been rock solid recently, if you look through his last month plus of starts, we're looking at about 10 starts now where he's had double digits in all of them, with the exception of a Coors Field game, which no shame in that, and he was still really close to having double digits. He's not a premier upside pitcher, like he doesn't rattle off 30s and 40s on the regular, but the guys who are capable of doing that, there's really only one on this slate, and he's stuck facing a pretty good team. So give me Montes. The Rangers are a top 10 team for K rate, have been all season long. This is definitely the best matchup for all of the top tier starters. And Montes has had really nice strikeout stuff lately. So you feel pretty comfortable with him right here, getting anywhere from 14 to 28 DK points. All right, moving along the line down to some of the hitters. Let's talk about today's cover boy, Nick Castellanos of the Cincinnati Reds. So this is a cash game lock for me, no doubt about it. I like him in any format, but 100% a cash game lock, simply because he's going to be popular. And if I want to eat chalk, you want to eat chalk in cash games as much as possible, especially good chalk like this. So Castellanos is just way too cheap again at 4,500. This is a guy whose season numbers, he should be priced in the mid fives, like a lot of other really good hitters are these days, and he's not. So he's way too cheap. He's also been a left-handed pitching masher for quite a long time now. And he's going up against Jay Happ, who, well, we'll be nice about this one. Happ's been struggling. Games in Minnesota tonight. It's not fun to go to Minnesota in the very beginning of the season or very end in cold weather, but when we're in the summer months and every day is at least decent out, it's an excellent place to hit the baseball. And he's absolutely owned Jay Happ throughout his career. I'm talking 12 to 22 with 4 extra base hits. Those are big-time numbers and enough sample size that I do put a little bit of credence into it, especially for a really good hitter against a struggling pitcher currently. All right, next up, let's talk about a GPP play for today. And check out Fernando Tatis at the San Diego Padres. So one, he's supposed to be back in the lineup today. If he's not, clearly you don't want to go there. But they even say on the DK write-up, they expect him back today. Took the day off with a minor injury yesterday. No big deal. He should be back today. Get up spot for him against the Los Angeles Dodgers as two of the better teams in baseball get to square off against one another. Still flabbergasted that the Giants are ahead of both of them in the standings, but that's neither here nor there. So Tatis, I mean, you all know he's amazing, right? Like, there's nothing left to say about this kid except he's just nothing short of phenomenal. Power, defense, stolen bases, you name it, he does it. So he's really got everything working in his direction. So we all love Fernando Tatis. However, he's not going to be as high owned as normal today. Like, you're not going to get him at 1% or anything silly like that. But projections have him 10 to 20%, so low enough on a shorter slate like this that I wouldn't consider it chalk. He likes get up spots against this division rival right here. And I think you guys can all remember the series earlier this year where he just flat out owned the Dodgers. Good against good pitching. Urias is no slouch, but I'm definitely not scared to play. Tatis is better than Urias. Urias is a no slouch at all, but Tatis is as good as they come in the game of baseball. So I like the idea of just kind of playing the little bit, maybe narrative isn't the word, but a get-up spot for the San Diego Padres at home against the Dodgers tonight. All right, next up, let's go back to cash game locks, and let's talk about the Houston Astros as a whole a little bit. But basically, my favorite play is going to be Jose Altuve. So Keegan Aiken is definitely one of the weaker pitchers on the slate, and Baltimore's bullpen is terrible. It's not good. There's really nothing good about the Baltimore Orioles. So their pitching staff definitely isn't any part of it. Altuve is scorching right now. He took a couple of offers, but outside of that, over the past 10 games, he's as hot as anybody in baseball. Has going through a stretch of 144 DK points in that time, and that's including the 2 offers. It's a great ballpark to hit in Baltimore, and he's definitely going to be popular today. You can expect that the Houston Astros get plenty of love. And Altuve, who is just playing like that guy who won the MVP years ago this year. The power's there, hitting for, not quite the 340 average that we've seen him in years past, but playing better baseball than he did last season. Really very much looking like the excellent multiple-time All-Star that he is. All right, let's talk about not Ketel One, but Ketel Marte. So it's hard to spend good money on Arizona players, right? They're the worst team in baseball. They're terrible up and down hitting. Their pitching is atrocious. Like, they're just not a good baseball team. Got the worst record in baseball. That being said, that has no influence over who Ketel Marte is. And Marte is having himself a nice season. And more importantly, right now, has been just scorching hot over the past little bit less than a week. He's got 70 DK points over the past 5 games. Matched up against my Milwaukee Brewers tonight and Brett Anderson, who is our weakest starter on the board. If my memory serves me correctly, he got absolutely lit up in his last start. He's not terrible. He's also clearly not like good, right? Like, he's at best mediocre. And when you only have X amount of games on the slate and it's not very big, you're going to have to go to some places that are mediocre because there are also some good pitchers going on this one. And so this would be a decent spot. It's just difficult to look at a lot of the Arizona hitters because they're bad. But Marte isn't. He's good. He's a switch hitter. He can go up against anybody the Brewers throw out of the bullpen. He's got a little bit of power. He's got a little bit of speed. You're not seeing as many of those, come through fruition so far this year, but they are there. And it's always something you can rely upon as a potential way to get more upside out of him. So he's having a superb season with an OPS of 950, batting average over 350. His RBI numbers aren't great because nobody's ever on base, but this guy's a really, really good hitter. Definitely the best player on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And because they don't usually get a lot of attention because they're a terrible team, it kind of makes me like him in GPPs a little bit more. Like, if I had to go up against the first guy that I talked about, which is Nick Castellanos, on paper, Castellanos is just the better play. No questions, right? Better offense, better hitter, more power. We'll call it an equal matchup. But Marte, while I wouldn't say he's like 1% owned or anything like that, won't be as chalky as Nick Castellanos and has every opportunity to outscore him in a situation like this. Or play him together. That's what I got for today, fellas. Hopefully everybody has a great day. We got those deals running. Click that thumbs up button if you don't mind. And there is no basketball today. We will get the Clippers, who are down 0-1, to the Suns tomorrow, so that'll be fun. And then the Bucks host the Hawks. Probably not what people were expecting. Kudos to the Hawks. Part of that was bad Philly. The fact that Trae Young didn't make his second field goal until, I don't know, what was there, 6 minutes left to go in the fourth or something, and the 76ers couldn't win a home game, that's getting blown up. I say with great confidence, Ben Simmons and Embiid won't be back out together next year, and there's a good chance Doc won't be back. That was inexcusable in part of the Sixers. I know Joel wasn't 100%, but you can't lose that series. That being said, man, credit to the Hawks. Nate McMillan was nothing short of a godsend to this team. Their defensive intensity stepped up once he got there. They have played really good basketball down the stretch. And as much as everybody's messaging me right now saying, hey, Bucks and 4, Bucks and 5, I ain't counting my chickens. The Hawks and Trae Young have proved a lot to me early on in the playoffs that even though they're, my Bucks are clearly the favorite going into this, how could they not be? Kudos to them. Like, they got a puncher's chance. They're playing with house money right now. They're playing free and loose. They can shoot the three ball well. The Bucks are not perfect at defending the three. I mean, there's every opportunity. This one could be a nice series and could be very entertaining. And the coolest part about the playoffs left right now is outside of Kawhi, who's got himself a couple of rings, isn't even playing right now. Somebody new is winning the chip, which that's exciting. You know what I mean? Whether it's Giannis and Middleton, Trae Young and Gallo, Bogdanovich, whoever you want to talk about from that team. Paul George, who I've been very hard on, is playing. He's having a nice postseason. He could get his. Throwing a couple other guys out there. Obviously, Rondo has his. Otherwise, you could see CP3 get his first. He should be back sooner than later. And my boy Booker, who was, like I said, the best play on the slate yesterday, was nothing short of sensational and phenomenal. And he could get his first ring. So thank you, folks. Have a good one, and I will see you guys soon.